Psychology tells us that people who have few or no close friends are often profoundly misunderstood. They are not broken, defective, or socially incompetent. Their minds simply work differently. For them, ordinary social life can feel overwhelmingly draining, shallow, or even pointless. What looks like loneliness to others is frequently a quiet form of self-protection. Their nervous system values depth, authenticity, and inner peace far more than constant connection or external approval. If you've spent long periods with very few friendships, there are real psychological reasons behind it. Your traits are not flaws. They are uncommon strengths that shape the way you experience the world. Before you judge yourself harshly, take a moment to understand what your mind has been gently guarding all along. 1. You have an extremely low tolerance for superficiality and inauthenticity. If you find yourself with few friends, it's likely because you can no longer stomach fake personalities, gossip, or social masks. As your self-awareness has grown, your tolerance for anything dishonest or performative has dropped dramatically. You would rather sit in silence than force yourself through conversations filled with small talk, hidden agendas, or polite pretending. Your brain picks up on subtle inconsistencies, shifted tones, forced smiles, indirect motives, almost instantly. Most people overlook these signals, but you feel them like static in your nervous system. This isn't antisocial behavior. It's your inner guidance system protecting your emotional energy from unnecessary noise and manipulation. You keep your circle intentionally small because your peace matters more than social quantity. For you, authenticity isn't a preference. It's a non-negotiable requirement for any real connection. 2. You crave depth rather than breadth in your relationships. People with few friends are rarely avoiding connection itself. They are simply refusing to settle for shallow ones. Your mind is wired for meaningful exchange. Surface-level chatter about weather, weekend plans, or trending topics feels painfully empty and exhausting to you. You long for conversations that explore ideas, emotions, values, psychology, and the deeper questions of life. Small talk drains you because it offers no nourishment. You want to understand people, not just pass time with them. When a discussion lacks genuine curiosity or emotional honesty, you naturally withdraw. This isn't rejection of others. It's a deep commitment to relationships that actually feed your soul. You would rather be alone with your thoughts than surrounded by people who aren't truly listening or sharing. You stay selective because real connection requires time, vulnerability, and mutual depth. You're waiting for those rare souls who can meet you at your level. 3. Your nervous system requires significant recovery time after social interaction. Some people recharge through socializing. If you have few friends, you may belong to the group whose nervous system works differently. You process social information more intensely, reading, micro-expressions, emotional undercurrents, unspoken tensions, and energetic shifts all at once. This high sensitivity allows you to understand people on a profound level, but it also consumes far more mental and emotional energy than average. What feels energizing to extroverts can leave you feeling overstimulated and depleted. After even moderate social contact, your brain needs extended solitude to reset, decompress, and restore clarity. Psychology refers to this as high sensory processing sensitivity, or a more reactive autonomic nervous system. Your need for alone time is not a flaw or a sign of dislike for people. It is simply how you maintain internal balance. Solitude is your way of returning to center. It is recovery, not avoidance. Without it, your clarity and emotional stability begin to fade. 4. You are highly independent and do not rely on external validation. Many people who walk through life with few close friends are not lonely in the traditional sense. They are deeply self-sustained. You don't need constant social feedback to feel worthy, confident, or emotionally whole. Your sense of self comes from within, from your own thoughts, values, creativity, and inner world. Psychology describes this as low attachment to social approval, a trait often linked to strong internal locus of control and emotional self-regulation. While others chase likes, attention, or group belonging to feel secure, you can entertain yourself, solve problems alone, and find peace in your own company. This independence can sometimes be misread as coldness or distance by those who depend heavily on social mirrors. But for you, solitude is fertile ground. It's where your best ideas emerge and your truest self feels most alive. Because you are so self-contained, your standards for friendship are naturally high. You protect your inner environment carefully and only allow people in who add real value rather than drama or inconsistency. 5. Past experiences have taught you to guard your trust carefully. If you have very few friends, there is often a protective pattern rooted in earlier life experiences. Perhaps you were betrayed, emotionally neglected, repeatedly disappointed, or simply learned the hard way that not everyone deserves access to your heart. Once the brain experiences significant relational pain, it adapts by raising its trust threshold. You now observe longer, listen more carefully, and test consistency before letting someone close. This isn't paranoia or bitterness. It's learned wisdom and self-respect. Your caution is a survival mechanism that prevents you from repeating painful patterns. While this protective layer keeps superficial people at a distance, it also means meaningful connections may take longer to form. But the relationships that do pass through your careful filter tend to be far more genuine and lasting. Your slower pace in trusting others is not a defect. It is the quiet intelligence of a mind that has learned what truly matters. In the end, having few or no close friends does not mean you are failing at life or missing something essential. It often means your mind operates with greater depth, sharper intuition, and higher standards for human connection. You notice patterns, energies, and truths that many others miss. You carry a rich inner landscape that doesn't require constant external stimulation to feel complete. These qualities can make the path feel quieter and more solitary for a season. But they also protect something precious: your clarity, your energy, and your authentic self. Your solitude is not emptiness. It is the soil where insight grows. It is the space where you become more fully yourself. Do not rush to fill it just to meet society's expectations. Honor the architecture of your inner world. Understand why your mind chooses quality over quantity, depth over distraction, and peace over performance. The right people, the ones who can truly meet you, will recognize and respect the same things you value. If you found resonance in these words and want more psychology content that explores hidden strengths, unusual mind patterns, and the quiet power of introspective people, consider subscribing. Not for any algorithm, but for the version of you that keeps seeking deeper self-understanding.